Strap in, folks, because we are witnessing a twist in the tennis timeline that is as electric as it is historic. Out here in the scorched California sands, a scenario is playing out that has the suits, the pundits, and the global audience slack-jawed with disbelief. The so-called fifth major Indian Wells is undergoing a tectonic realignment of its vibe, its crowd, and its very soul. The whole facility is reeling, and the epicenter of this quake is a single, prodigiously gifted teenager from the Philippines. Legions of die-hard Alex Eala loyalists have swarmed the Golden State, packing the stands to the rafters and effectively hijacking this storied American venue into a backyard fiesta for the Southeast Asian star. To really grasp the gravity of this Coachella Valley takeover, you have to understand what this place usually looks like. Normally, this tournament pulls in a country club demographic hushed, reserved, and steeped in tradition. It is a sanctuary for the old guard who sip their drinks in silence, doling out nothing more than polite claps for a winner down the line. But take one look at the I-10 freeway right now, and the script has been completely flipped. We are not seeing the typical vacation traffic. It is gridlock stretching for miles, a convoy decked out in the blazing yellow, white, red, and blue. You cannot call this a mere spectator turnout. This is a full-blown cultural uprising. The sprawling Filipino-American network across Southern California, spanning from LA down to San Diego, has activated with a force the sport simply did not see coming. They have snatched up seats at breakneck speed, crashing the resale sites and creating absolute bedlam at the ticket counters. The manicured grounds are morphing into a pulsating, deafening ocean of patriotism, echoing the raucous energy of a World Cup final rather than a standard tour stop in the quiet desert. If you are just tuning in, you might wonder what on earth could spark such fanaticism for a single athlete. See, Eala is not merely another name in the draw or a promising up-and-comer. She is a pioneer shouldering the dreams of over 100 million souls, a Quezon City native who ventured down a road few from her corner of the world have ever walked. Packing her bags as a child, she flew across the globe to sharpen her skills at the prestigious Rafa Nadal Academy in Mallorca, where she forged history as the first player from her nation to capture a junior major singles crown, a monumental victory secured in New York. However, dominating the junior circuit is no golden ticket to the big leagues. The jump to the women's tour breaks most contenders. Yet, Eala has walked that razor's edge with a silent, deadly focus. She has scraped and clawed through the minor league trenches, fighting in forgotten outposts with zero fanfare, grinding for every single ranking point just to earn her spot on this stage. Landing at Indian Wells, she has shed the underdog skin. She is no longer a side act, she is the headline attraction. You can practically feel the tremors running through the tournament's old guard. Organizers and security teams are in a flat-out panic, trying to manage a tidal wave they never predicted, while the electricity in the air spreads like wildfire. Gear shops are being stripped bare, and fans are packed 10 deep just to watch her hit a few practice balls. That polite courtside whisper? Gone. Replaced by thundering drums, synchronized chants, and pure, unadulterated euphoria. You almost never witness this breed of hysteria in the tennis world. Sure, we saw glimpses of it with Osaka or the icon Lina, but the rally behind Alex Eala has a different flavor entirely. This hits closer to home. It is the payoff after years of witnessing one of their own bleed, sweat, and smash through the glass ceiling of a sport ruled by Western giants. But this spectacle, this mind-bending scene, is just the tip of the iceberg regarding a profound shift in global sports, the muscle of immigrant communities, and the raw, undeniable genius of a challenger ready to flip the entire tennis hierarchy on its head. So, let us dissect exactly what makes this moment tick. We are breaking down Eala's mechanics, the tour's tactical battlefield, and the massive cultural weight of this invasion. To get why she commands this spotlight, you have to decode her playstyle, a killer mix of old-school hustle and modern firepower. First off, she is a lefty, which instantly gives her a strategic upper hand on the court. Her serve curves wickedly away from a righty's backhand, a tool she has sharpened into a spear, but the arsenal runs deeper than just the delivery. It is the monstrous, heavy topspin she whips off her forehand wing. Groomed by the masters at Rafa's Academy and mentored by the King of Clay himself, her tennis DNA is unmistakable. That ball explodes off the surface with ferocious bite, pinning rivals against the back wall and letting her control every angle of the fight. She is not just another spin merchant. Eala wields a two-handed backhand that cuts through the court like a flat, high-speed laser. That shot is her lethal weapon, giving her the power to redirect traffic down the line with jaw-dropping velocity and precision. When you fuse that gritty, Spanish-style forehand with her aggressive, flat backhand, you get a chameleon capable of thriving on any surface against any foe. Indian Wells, in particular, feels like it was custom-made for her game, famous for its uniquely slow, hard courts that kick the ball up high. That rough texture bites into the felt, supercharging her topspin so shots explode right out of her rival's comfort zone. Plus, the thin, dry desert air reduces drag, adding a little extra venom to her power shots as they fly through the atmosphere. It is a rare alignment of the stars where the environment and her toolkit fit together like a lock and key. Yet, raw athleticism only gets you halfway there in the brutal world of pro tennis. You need iron nerves just to walk out onto that center court. Realizing thousands flew in just to watch you represent your flag is a heavy cross to bear. Plenty of wonderkinds have cracked under that colossal pressure. That is where Eala shines. She is absolute ice in her veins when the match is on the line. She plays with the poise of a seasoned pro, refusing to panic or hurry even when staring down a breakpoint. She sticks to her rituals, bouncing the ball with intent, then executes a steel mindset forged by a lifetime in the spotlight. Being anointed the savior of your nation's sports legacy at 14 forces you to grow up overnight. Reporters were dissecting her performance back when she was still playing junior matches. A win felt like a nationwide festival, while a loss brought microscopic criticism from every angle. That crucible of expectations hardened her, so the deafening roar at Indian Wells doesn't rattle her, it powers her. Now, look at the bigger picture of the tour to see exactly where she slots into this puzzle. Women's tennis is sitting in a thrilling state of flux right now. You have titans like Iga Swiatek, whose motion and spin rule the clay, and heavy hitters like Sabalenka and Rybakina, who literally serve people off the court. But just beneath those giants, it is the Wild West, pure chaos and a golden chance for hungry rookies to make a name. Eala poses a nightmare matchup for the old guard simply because you cannot predict what she will do next. She isn't just mindlessly smashing the felt, but she isn't sitting back playing pure defense either. The girl is a strategic shapeshifter. She can camp out on the baseline, neutralizing power with deep, looping shots, then suddenly step in and take the ball on the rise to suffocate her opponent. That flexibility is going to face the ultimate trial in the California desert. The bracket is brutal, stacked with elites from day one, meaning a deep run requires surviving a gauntlet of seasoned pros and dangerous upstarts. However, do not underestimate the X factor we talked about, the fans. This sport is solitary confinement. You are stranded on an island with nothing but your demons and the person trying to beat you. When the tide turns against you, that stadium silence screams louder than any noise. Now, picture facing Eala in that atmosphere. You shank a ball, and the stands absolutely explode. She rips a winner, and the roar splits your eardrums. The mental toll on anyone standing across the net is going to be suffocating. We have watched fans drag players back from the grave, pumping adrenaline into their veins when their bodies are ready to quit. These Filipino-American fans in California aren't just buying tickets to watch. They are in the fight, acting as Eala's lifeline and a living nightmare for her opposition. You also can't ignore the massive financial and cultural ripples this creates. The tours are desperate to grow their global map and find fresh eyes, with Asia sitting at the top of their wish list. While China and Japan have already delivered slams and big events, Southeast Asia is still a sleeping giant waiting to wake up. Eala holds the key to cracking open that massive, sports-obsessed market. The Philippines doesn't just support its athletes, it worships them. Remember how the world stopped spinning every time Manny Pacquiao stepped into the ring? Streets emptied out, crime flatlined, and millions of people held their breath in unison. She is starting to spark that same level of fanaticism, and for the Indian Wells organizers, it is like striking gold. A wave of thousands of screaming fans means a serious payday in tickets, food, and gear. But look at the bigger picture. This puts the entire event on the map in a whole new way. It is internet gold. You are going to see clips beaming across the globe, seas of Filipino flags, chants echoing through the stands, and fans absolutely hijacking the tennis garden. It screams a new reality. Tennis is not just some stuffy pastime for the wealthy in country clubs, but a worldwide phenomenon that can spark real, gritty obsession. You bet the big brands are watching closely. You have a kid who is sharp, gifted, and has an army behind her, her value is through the roof. She is the holy grail for advertisers, perfectly linking Western sporting heritage with Eastern heart. But let us zoom out and talk about what this does for the future of the game back on the streets of the Philippines and all over Southeast Asia. For generations, Kids there have stuck to hoops, boxing rings, or badminton courts because tennis costs a fortune and courts are scarce in developing regions. Between buying gear, paying court fees, and the nightmare of funding international flights, there is a financial wall stopping millions of kids from ever touching a racket. But seeing is believing. Imagine a little girl back in Manila or Cebu seeing Alex step onto that stadium court in California, hearing that roar. That spark is lit. It shows them that the impossible is actually within reach. It tells every scraping by parent that buying those sneakers was worth it. Her rise is going to kickstart a massive boom in Filipino tennis. We are about to witness new public courts, better development, schemes, and a fresh wave of rookies trying to copy her heavy spin and that killer instinct. Digging deeper, you have to credit the village behind her. Going pro is never a solo mission. It looks lonely out there, but you need a squad, coaches, physios, and above all, family. The Eala clan put everything on the line to back Alex's vision. Moving lives, handling the stress of the junior circuit, and sending her off to the Rafa Nadal Academy took serious guts. Seeing her now at Indian Wells, amidst that sea of countrymen, is the ultimate payoff for those tough calls. Everyone wins here? And hats off to the Academy in Mallorca for spotting that diamond in the rough and building the grueling, elite space needed to polish it. They did not just teach her strokes. They built a pro teaching her body management and that relentless champion's mentality synonymous with the Nadal name. Mix it all up, her desert-ready game, nerves of steel, and the thunderous backing of the California Filipino community, and you get a story you cannot look away from. It creates a storyline that grabs you by the throat. This transcends a simple bracket. It is about visibility, identity, and a young woman claiming her spot. The ripples going through Indian Wells right now? That is just the start. The old guard better wake up. A new powerhouse is here, and she brought her whole country to the front door of the elite. Every time she steps up, it is not a match. It is a festival of culture and sport crashing together. Watching how this fairy tale plays out over the next few weeks is going to be electric. The California air feels different now. Those legions of fans turning the venue into a home game have proven tennis can be raw, loud, and tribal, breaking every polite convention. Title or no title, quarterfinals or bust, it does not matter, she has already won. She has the whole world watching. She forced the establishment to respect the Southeast Asian roar and the fierce loyalty of her people. If you are watching from your couch, veteran or rookie, lock in right now. You are watching a superstar go supernova. She carries millions on her shoulders with absolute grace and fire. Indian Wells will never forget the day the Filipino fans took over, changing the pulse of this place forever. And we will be right here for every smash, every save, and every deafening scream from the crowd. Become part of the story, hit subscribe, and tell us where you're watching from. You don't want to miss a second of Alexandria Eala's legendary climb to the top. Thanks for diving into the details with me. Now clear the decks, because the action unfolding on the court is going to be absolutely explosive.